Hello everyone. Today I've got not one, not two, but three fantastic horror books that you should read. Two of them are shorter but very great novels, and the other one is a fantastic anthology. And you're going to want to read all these, and just stay tuned so you can hear all about them. And first, of course, I want to remind you that I have books for sale. There is a link below where you can buy all three of my horror books if you want to, and I hope you do. And also, don't forget to pre-order Ooze, Little Bursts of Body Horror. That one is coming out in just a couple days, but you can still get your hands on it, and there is a paperback copy available now for those that have asked. That's right, you can get your paperback copy, and I will leave a link down below where you can do that very thing. You can read my story along with 20 other fantastic authors, and it's just some good ooey gooey body horror. All right, let's get on with the video. All right, I want to start out by apologizing because I know it looks really dark in here. This is probably not the best visual you are going to get, but my room here in Cambodia is kind of dark right now, and there's some stuff going on outside, so I can't go out there and make this video. So I hope you'll just forgive me, but trust me, I'm nothing to look at. You're here for the books, and we can still talk about those. And the first book I want to tell you about is called Beneath the Dark by Ian Backhouse. This book has a lot of things that I really love. It's set in a small town. There's one police officer that patrols these islands off the coast of England. In the summer, it's a touristy place. They get a lot of tourists via ferry. But in the winter, it's just cold and desolate and nothing much going on. And in between that break, as summer's turning into the off-season, some things start happening to certain people. People start dying, or not dying. People start getting attacked, brutally attacked, and surviving miraculously. Like they shouldn't be surviving what happened to them, but for some reason they do. And as we get into the story, we're going to find out what is causing this, what evil it is that's making all this happen, and why exactly they're not actually dying, but something far worse is happening to them. So it's more like a prolonged torture than it is just an instant death, which makes this book very fascinating, I thought, and very, very well written. We have a police detective. We have somebody who claims to be a psychic, but she's also a professor with a PhD from a college. And she believes in all this supernatural curses and runes and things like that. And then we have a guy who considers himself a debunker. Like, he don't say there's no such thing as a supernatural being, but he's more of a debunker guy. He's very skeptical. He chooses to do it, his investigations very scientifically. And when they all get together and when they all pull their resources and find out what's going on, they just all are going to have to accept things that go against maybe the way they believe. And they're going to have to pull together to figure out how to stop this thing, because pretty soon it could affect that whole island. The whole island could be affected, and people could start being destroyed and killed until there's nobody left. Yeah, this is a great book, man. You got the, you got a little island where the only way you can get off is via a ferry. You have a small little town. You got one cop. You got all the citizens. There's a curse gone wrong, a ritual that somebody has not thought out very well to bring this thing to them. And some of the ways these people get attacked, even though they don't die, but it's very brutal and very vicious. And you are absolutely going to love it. And for all three of these books, this one included, I will leave a link in the description where you can pick it up. Beneath the Dark. Number 2 on my list is The Nightcrawler by P.A. Shepard. Oh man, I love a good post-apocalyptic book. And I really love a good post-apocalyptic book if it's not about zombies. I love zombies. I have nothing against zombies. Give me a good zombie story and I will read it. But it's just kind of been done, over and over and over again. So it can kind of become old hat, even if they are written well. But this one does have to do with the apocalyptic world, a post-apocalyptic world, but it has nothing to do with zombies. There are these things called night crawlers. And in this book, the term nightcrawler is going to refer to something that happens actually pretty early on in this book. Usually authors say the big twist for the end. This twist is going to happen fairly early in the book, and it's going to leave our protagonist Kaz, a young female, who is with her father, holed up in a bank vault because these night crawlers come out at night, so they know they have to be in at nightfall. But of course, because it's a post-apocalyptic world, there are various gangs roaming around that do what they want, so they always have to watch out for the other humans as well. So they've locked themselves and taken over this bank and using that vault as kind of a safe room where nothing or nobody can get in. Until something happens, and you're going to have to read about it to find out. But once that thing happens and that twist is revealed, all of a sudden she finds herself on her own. She has to leave that bank, the safety of her bank. She has to go out into the world, and she doesn't know what to expect. There are dangers on every side. She is never safe. She will meet other characters along the way, but are they good? Are they bad? Some are one way, some are the other, but you're going to have to read to find out, because in this world you can never trust anybody, and especially at night when these night crawlers come out, they will hunt you down, and even the smallest ones can absolutely devour you. So there's danger on every side. There's a lot of tension in this book as she tries to make her way and try to figure out where she is going to go from here. And according to Paul Shepard there, he said he's already working on a sequel to Nightcrawlers. I am intrigued of this world. I absolutely love this world, and I think next year he's got the next installment of this Nightcrawler world that he's going to present to us, and I can't wait to read it. I will absolutely jump back in this world anytime. It's a fantastic, action-paced, thrilling book, and you'll definitely need to read it to find out where that twist is right at the beginning, and then the stuff that comes after is just as engrossing and engaging. It's fantastic. It's scary. You'll absolutely love it. Check the Amazon link down below and pick up your copy now. And last but certainly not least, I have an anthology called Dreaded Tales. It's a short story anthology by Eddie J. Morales. And there's actually 2 editions to this, and you'll probably want to pick up both of them. And the reason I say that is because he does have several short stories of different horrific, terrifying things. But there's one main story that is, sections of it are placed throughout these books. And it is an excellent, excellent story. Remember what I said earlier about zombies? How I like a zombie story if it's something different and something that hasn't been done before. This story and the thread that runs throughout in between the other short stories is about a zombie outbreak. But we start from the very beginning, and we see how it comes about. There are secret government agencies involved. There are undercover animal welfare groups involved. There are a lot of ins and outs and a lot of twists and turns, people switching alliances and allegiances. And but in the meantime, once this virus starts getting getting people infected, it can't be stopped, and things get very, very bloody, very, very quick. And it's a scramble for life or death to figure out, what to do about it. Like I said, this main story runs different sections of this story, runs through and in between other short stories. And you'll hear everything from witches to ghosts to serial killers to, he runs the gamut. He's an excellent writer. He has a large imagination, and his stories are just fast-paced, right there in your face, and you will love them. So even though you see the cover here for Part 1, Dreaded Tales, Part 1, there is Dreaded Tales Part 2, and you will want to read them both. If for no other reason than you can get the full scope of that main story that runs through the rest of it. I thought that was a very unique and interesting way to have this story integrated in between the other short stories. because if there's a cliffhanger at the end of one section of that main story, well, you're going to have to wait because you got to read about the ghosts and you got to read about the serial killer, right? You got to read about the curse and all that good stuff. And then you'll get right back into the other story. It's just great. You have to read it and to understand it, but you'll love it once you do. I know I certainly did. And as always, there's a link down below where you can purchase that one as well. All right, so that's 3 fantastic books that you can pick up. These are all shorter books, but they're all absolutely horrifying in their own way. They're absolutely terrific, and I highly recommend all 3 of them to you. Yeah, just pick them up. There are links down below to Amazon. Feel free to use those. And as always, I want to say thank you for taking some of your time, spending it here with me. I really appreciate you guys watching. And until we meet again, keep reading spooky, my friends.